apprehensive about making this flower because I thought, oh my gosh, I do not want to make all these petals. But I see tons of people doing it and everything. It's like, okay, Lori, suck it up. You can do it. My friends, I'm going to tell you, I really enjoyed making these petals. I cut all my mesh, brought it all upstairs, and I folded all these petals in half an hour. I even videoed myself so I could see how long it took me. Half an hour. That's faster than me even wood burning 2 rolls of mesh. And wait till you see how super easy it is that you can get every single petal exactly the same. I got it down to a science here. So I am using, I've never used one of these before either. We just got these in. This is 8.75 inch, one of those faux centers with the wood chips on them. They're fairly inexpensive, but like I said, this is 8.75. This is a bigger one. It's an MD 046704. It's in the description. But we're making a big sunflower, so this is going to be a statement piece. Okay, so I am going to be using a table mount and a pipe cleaner on the back of my center here. Oh, let it hold. And we're using the large board tonight because I wanted I want them spaced good, and and the center is quite big. So I was going to do it on the small board, and then I changed my mind at the last minute because I like the spacing more on the large board, especially with this large center. Okay, so that's why I'm doing it on the large board. We are doing row 2, every hole. So normal holes and shared holes. So you can see that it looks like stitching going around. Row 3, we're doing the shared holes and skipping the regular holes. Okay, and then on row 4, I have all the holes. Now, I do realize that the center is going to cover up half the petals down on row 3, but that's okay, or row 4, but that's okay because we need to cover up these zip ties. So it's going to look super full. All right. I'm kind of excited to get this, to show you guys this. Okay, so I am going to put some hot glue right in the center. And hot glue and foam love each other. So nice big dollop of hot glue right in the center. I'm going to put my cable mount down, and I'm going to take something and push it right in. I can hear it sizzling. I can hear that glue sizzling into the foam. This is my favorite way for centers, foam centers, because that cable mount literally embeds into the foam with the hot glue. I used to use the floral pins. I don't use them anymore because the floral pins always just pull out. I've never had a cable mount come out because you have to yank that sucker. Okay, so I'm just going to put this to the side and let the glue dry. And we're going to be using the feather petal. Just let me vacuum up these little bit of wood chips here. All right. So this is the mesh I was talking about. I cannot believe other people have not used this for a sunflower yet. It is a horizontal wide stripe mesh, kind of like almost like a window pane, bright yellow, but it's got gold. I don't know if you guys can see that. Gold and silver metallic strips in it. So when the sun hits my sunflower is gonna glow. It is going to be fabulous. So this is a 10.5 inch, I believe. I'm using 2 rolls of this, 2 rolls, and the number is in the description of this mesh. So what you need is 64 petals. I know it sounds like a lot. It's not really. Literally took me half an hour. Now I do fold petals fast, but when you see how easy the petals are, look, perfection. So row 2, you're using 32. Row 3, we're using 16. And row 4, we're using 16, okay? So you're gonna cut 2 rolls of this mesh at 10 inches each. Alrighty, so you do not wood burn it because there's no edges that you're gonna see. Just roll it out on your mat and cut it at the 10 inches, okay? You need 64 pieces. Yeah, there's red, red with gold, there's green. I can't remember what other colors I got, but I guess nobody really noticed it because I haven't used it, and I don't think any of Team Unique have used it either. So that makes sense. Okay, the petal. Now I would highly recommend, because you are folding so many petals, that if you want to do it while you're watching TV on your lap, get yourself a bucket or a bag or something and some little rubber bands. You do not need any clips for this. You just need rubber bands and something flat to put on your lap to fold them, okay? So the petal, this is the feather petal. We're going to use curl up, okay? Turn it into a diamond shape, factory edge, top left, bottom right. I am bringing the top corner down to the bottom corner. Now this roll is 10.5 inches wide. That doesn't matter for this petal. Cut it at 10 for this petal. You'll get more pieces out of the mesh as well, because it does not need to be a perfect square, okay? So you can see my edges are not meeting the factory edges. That is not a big deal. Just match your corner to your corner, make a triangle, okay? Then I'm gonna take my right corner and bring it over and meet up the edge here. So this edge is meeting up with this edge. All right, you kind of got that Star Trek shape, right? Everybody got me here? Now, for this petal, you want to make sure your open edge, this is your open edge, okay? Every petal, you want your open edge on the same side. And if you do it like me, and do every petal the exact same way, you'll always have the open edge. So I have my right corner, brought it over to the left side. Okay, we got that Star Trek shape. I'm now going to bring the open side over and line it up again along this edge. Okay, flip that. So it kind of looks like a shoe right now. All right, and then I'm bringing it, just holding the middle there. Why we flipped it over, why I flipped this over, is I wanted to find the exact middle of the exact center of this Star Trek piece, okay? Then what you're going to do is you're going to pinch, so pinch, pinch, bring it in, pinch, bring that in. Make sure the two tails are the exact same length when you bring them in, so you can adjust it. Okay, and this is what you have. And then I'm going to take a rubber band and I'm going to put it on my cutting mat, and I'm going to rubber band right from the bottom tip here to the 2-inch mark. So my fingers are just above, so I'm going to put the rubber band right in front of my fingers, okay? this is the back side. And now we have this kind of, looks like a feather. I'm just gonna kind of open it. And that is our petal. And if you fold it the same every single time, your edges, your open edges will go the same way every time. Because when we put this petal in, we're gonna tuck this edge kind of into the open edge. So they all go around and fit really nice, but really full. Okay, so now I'm gonna take my petal, and right where the rubber band is, I'm gonna put it all the way into my zip tie. Open. So I opened the, oh, first you're gonna have this little like protrusion here. I just kind of push that little protrusion to the side because it's going to sit right on the board. All right, and then we'll open that, and then we're gonna do the zip tie up right where the rubber band is. And if you measure where the rubber band is, your length of your petals will be the same every time because the rubber band is 2 inches. Okay, we're gonna go through that again. Isn't that pretty? I literally folded all those in half an hour because once you get the hang of it, it goes really, really fast. All right, let's do that again. 10-inch piece, curl up, diamond shape, top corner to the bottom corner. Okay, we have a triangle. It's not quite square, don't matter. Take your right corner, we're gonna bring it over to the left corner, making sure these 2 edges are kind of matched up, right? I'm gonna fold it again. These are the open edge, just folding it. Once I fold it, I'm grabbing down here. Just grab that center, pinch to bring to the center, pinch, bring to the center. And usually when you bring both to the center, they end up the same length anyways. Put it on here, your cutting mat, 2 inches. I got really fast at these. And voila. Petals the same, exact same every time. Okay, we'll do that a couple more. Same every time. Top corner, bottom corner, triangle, right corner to left corner, star track shape, open edge to fold it over to the closed edge. Grab the bottom corner for the center, pinch, bring it to the center, pinch, bring it to the center, measure 2 inches, rubber band, or you can put zip ties if you want, and there you go. So they all look the same. So I thought it was going to take me forever to make all these petals. You can see how fast you can make them. All right, and then I went over top of my garbage, and these ones I didn't cut off the edges, but you might want to trim off. Don't cut too close to the rubber band. You can trim off the tails. And then we're going to just pop them all in. Okay, so when you get your row 2 is totally preloaded. All the holes, like I said, and shared holes. You're going to take that back protrusion and just kind of push it to the side. It's not going to affect the front at all. It just helps it to sit on the board properly. And you are going to do your zip tie right up over top of the rubber band. And that way you don't have to worry about the length. The length will be the same every time. And you can open up the, like I said, the open end and kind of tuck it in to the neighboring petal. Trying to figure out if it's easier to do with the open end towards, or the other way, where you're taking the closed side, tucking it in, and then putting the zip tie. Oh, they're both the same. You can just zip them all in, and then once they're all in, you can go around and then tuck them, whatever's easiest for you. You just want to make sure your zip tie is right over the rubber band. Pretty easy, eh? And make sure that little protrusion thing is just kind of folded down. But I didn't want to cut it off, or I didn't want to glue it down, because I wanted the petals to kind of sit up a little bit, so the sunflower is not going to be flat. And this is the last one on row 2. Look how big this is. Isn't that pretty? Ooh, I'm going to have to make it bigger on my screen. All right, and now I'm going to take my zip tie gun, and we're going to cut the zip tie tails off. So the zip tie gun, there's a little slit in the gun there, and you put the tail, go straight down, and you're putting the tail in that little slit. Go right down to the head, and it's going to pull that zip tie nice and tight and cut it at the same time. If you do lots of Unique in the Creek boards and use zip ties like me, this does save a lot of time and a lot of hand issues. All right, so just want to go around, make sure that each one is tucked in. And then I'm just going to go around, and because I didn't use zip ties on the bottom of my petals, it would make me feel much better if I put a little bit of glue at the end here. Just got to let this heat up. And we'll go right over top. From the board, right over top. And this will prevent it in case, you grab a petal. Do this little extra step. That way I know none of the petals are going to slide out of the zip ties at all. So they're zip tied in as well as glued. Okay, now we're going on to the next row. Exact same thing. Just taking that protrusion. It doesn't really matter where you start. Okay, and I'm going to zip tie it right over top of the rubber band. And it kind of sits up a little bit, which is nice. We don't have a flat sunflower. And I'm using the shared holes. I'm not using the regular holes because I didn't want it to be too crammed in there. And I think it would be a little bit too crammed if I did the shared holes and yeah, so that's perfect. And it's less petals, right? And they sit nicely. And you can slide them over just a little bit because the zip tie is a little bit longer. Tie off. Now, if you don't have a zip tie gun or anything, you can use it. Just scissors to cut the tails off. Just don't use your good ribbon scissors because it will dull them. You can use wire cutters. Use the end nippers. If you like my zip tie gun, I think they're around $18, and it's on Lori's favorite tools list on my website for Amazon. All right, let's go around and just make sure all our petals are where we want them. So you can kind of move them around if you need one's overlapping the other. And then we're going to hit it with a little bit of glue again. All right, good. All right, last row. Okay, bring it to the side. Doesn't really matter where we start. And we're going to zip tie it right over top of the rubber band. Again, all my open edges are going to the right. And that little protrusion fits perfectly in the spot in between the petals. So these ones they just kind of sit up like that, right in between. There we go. Perfect. Okay, I'm gonna put some hot glue. Again, I'm just putting a little strip of glue right across, just for extra measure. So we used 64 petals again. Now, that's because I'm using an 8-inch center. So if you're going to put a sign, like an 8-inch sign or something, you can do that, no problem. But if you're using a smaller flower center, you may have to use row 5. Okay? Now we're good. Now we're good. Now we'll put the center on. That baby is on there. All you're going to do is go down the 2 center holes. 1 pipe cleaner here. Now you only need a half a pipe cleaner. I put a whole pipe cleaner on. Just use half. Save your pipe cleaner because we're going to cut most of it off. Okay, and we're just pulling from the back. Just going to push so those petals kind of perk up. Okay, and twist it on the back. Again, you can put green leaves if you would like. All right, we'll cut the end of our pipe cleaners off. Tuck it in. Look how nice and neat the back of our board is. There you go. So if you guys want to see. Okay, it all looks like stitching. Row 2, Row 3 is every other, and you can see that there's a little space in there. You don't need to put a petal in there for sure. Save your petals. Row 4, all of them. And if you use the big center or an 8-inch or 10-inch sign, love you, drive safe. Let me know when you get there, please. You only need to do those rows. Okay, and now we're going to put a hanger on. Just going to take one of my zip ties. Go on row 1. You can feel the 2 divoted holes. There's the logo. Down and up. Don't forget, if you're selling these, you're going to put your sticker on the back or tape your business card to the back. Chances are those people will not take it off. However, when it comes fall or Christmas, they'll come to you for their Christmas and fall wreath. And there we go. Now I'll do the petal again. Just want to make sure these are all. Oh, well, my glue gun is hot. Now I have this little metal bee that I got at Hobby Lobby. It was $3.99. I think I paid $2 for it. It's a little metal one. If I bend the legs up a little, we can just glue him on like that. Or I got this really pretty, I think this may be too much, but look how pretty that butterfly is. I think it might be a little too big. Or I was thinking, I want to make sure the top. I was thinking, what? 2 butterflies, 2 purple butterflies like that. So let's do the bee then. I'm going to cut this off. You can get these in the, I think it's in the spring section. I think they're napkin things. I'm not quite sure, but I know I paid like $2 for it. Okay. Just going to kind of go around the outside. And then we'll just push them down into the foam. A little dab right there, right across, right at the base of his leg there, and I'll put a little bit right there. Isn't that cute? And this sunflower is 26 inches in diameter. So I'll show you how you can add petal or leaves if you want. Got some pre-cut green here, so if you bought any of our kits, you'll probably have some of this green left over. Okay, I'm going to flip this over, and I'm going to do just a few green leaves. So I'm going to be using row 1. I'm going to take a zip tie and just put the zip tie through row 1, or a hole on row 1. And we'll use that to the outside of the board. And I'm going to take a couple pieces. This is the apple moss green. And I'm going to do a leaf petal, which is take your square piece, cut it whatever your sizing of your thing is. This is 10.5 by 10.5, right? I'm going to take the top corner, bring it to the bottom corner, and I'm going to find the middle. So I'm kind of, with my left hand, there's the middle. I'm going to bring this corner down to my finger, this corner up to my finger, okay? Then I'm going to bring it down one more time right before the center, and I'm going to bring this up one more time, okay? Pinch, pinch. We're going to flip it over, flip it up, and there's our leaf petal. Okay, I'm going to do a few of these. So I'm going to put 2 of these leaf petals in this zip tie. So again, I do curve up, finding the middle. So you won't have to wood burn your mesh if you're going to do this leaf petal as well. Okay, flip it over, flip it up, and I'm going to put this and this, so we have 4 leaves there. Okay, like that. Now this is the bad edge, but we want the bad side facing up because I'm going to do it upside down. So the good side will be facing the sunflower part of the wreath. Okay, so I'm going to put this just on the outer part and come around the middle of my leaves with my zip tie. Okay, now I'd like to do my leaves right at the end of my flower so they don't get all tattered from, you know, rubbing your arm. And then I'm just going to take the center of the leaves and just kind of push them under so they're sitting on the board. All right, and then pull that zip tie tight and cut your zip tie. And when you flip it over, there is your green leaves. Can you guys see that? Pretty, right? Okay, so I'll do another set. How about we'll just do directly across? I'll do another 2, and that'll be enough. Now, if you want your leaves a little wider, you don't have to fold it over again. It'll make your leaves wider. Just leave it, just do the 1 fold, and then you're going to pinch up the center, flip it over, flip them up, and you can see that your leaves are a little bit wider. Okay, but you do see more of the cut edge. That is why I like to do that double. Okay, I like to do this part because it hides more of that cut edge. Okay, so I'm just using 4 pieces of the, like I said, if you've gotten any of our kits, you'll probably have some of this left over because I used this particular green in quite a few of the kits because it matched all the spring signs. I'm going to kind of put it in the middle. Okay, grab the both by the middle. We're going to flip it over. So this is the bad side. Come around with your zip ties. Your zip tie, do it up, and then you can tuck, don't do it up tight because we want to tuck that mesh under the zip tie onto the board there, and then pull it tight. Again, this is the pre-cut mesh. There's no guarantee of not fraying for any mesh. Okay, yes, it's heat sealed, but I will never guarantee that it's not going to fray. So just, people ask us all the time, it's like every mesh will fray no matter what. All right, there we go. All right, everybody, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.